Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Kibbles and Pookie's Squared Circle. I think the biggest thing we want to talk about today is CM Punk and the possibility that he's not coming back. But we should move on to other bigger, better things. It's time to perhaps turn the page on more important people right now.
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns is in WWE. That's not AEW.
Oh.
So you've ruined
Who
my
are we talking about then?
Fuck. I can't believe you've done this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a podcast all about wrestling. In this corner, an author and a black belt, Kibbles.
Kibbles? What kind of name is that?
Pookie the Wolf is the best.
I forgot my copies. And in this corner, Pookie the Wolf.
Pookie the Wolf is one of the best.
Welcome to the Kibbles and Pookie's Squared Circle.
What do you mean you don't know who it, what do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean?
It's time to turn the page. Sorry, I did that wrong. It's time to turn the page on someone new.
Oh, you mean the new AEW World Tag Team Champions?
Yes, the Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed. Everybody loves the Acclaimed.
Yes. My third thing that I had set up was Bray Wyatt. But I want so badly. I want so badly for him to come back, but at the same time I want people who right away go, "Oh, it's Bray Wyatt. It's Bray Wyatt." That's you show any inkling of like someone is like, I don't know, drops like wire cables for the cameras on the floor and it like makes a smiley face. Like, oh, it's Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt did that. Like they'll be like some guy drops a fucking jar of, I don't know, something, food, like spills a drink and it's just like looks similar to, it looks like the word The Fiend. They're like, it's Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's coming back.
Yeah, I think, see, here's the thing, right? I think that people immediately jumped to Bray Wyatt because people in the crowd, when it happened, the lights went out, so they took out their phones, and it's very like Bray Wyatt-y, like with the phones, and
Absolutely.
also the fact that like WWE doesn't have any other, like WWE doesn't really have any other like previous characters that they could
spooky shit.
Yeah, like okay, if it's not Bray Wyatt, then like
Undertaker.
Other than Bray Wyatt, the Undertaker, like who is it really? Like we all like it's not gonna be Undertaker. So like, and like the only other option we were talking about would have been Karrion Kross, but he's already like shown up, so it doesn't make sense to be Karrion Kross. Otherwise, I would say that it would be more likely Karrion Kross than Bray Wyatt.
Someone was saying, and I don't know the history of it. I'm sure you know more, but someone was saying some kind of ties with Gargano, and I'm like, I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't know. I have no clue. Isn't he like Johnny Wrestling or something like that?
Yeah, I mean the only other one that would be funny is if it was Paul London.
Yeah, I was hearing about that
because he was the leader of the White Rabbit tribe in Lucha Underground. And was like crazy, and
who knows?
That was such a fun show. I missed that show so much.
Who knows? Wasn't but Karrion Kross had what? He was just. Is it because the what's the fucking thing called?
Clock?
The hourglass?
Yeah.
You said clock, but I mean I meant hourglass. But yeah, like the whole TikTok thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, what White Rabbit? You know,
well, it doesn't. Yeah, and doesn't the bunny and doesn't the rabbit in Alice in Wonderland like has the time stuff?
Yeah, because he says I'm very, very late, and he has to keep looking at his clock, and he keeps running.
So like that's why it would make sense if Karrion Kross hadn't already come back, it would make more sense if it was Karrion Kross than Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I don't understand. But then, did you hear people were trying to just grab any strain of like?
Oh, I'm sure.
So like during Bayley versus Alexa Bliss, the lights like had a problem, and they're like, Alexa Bliss is in the ring. It must be Bray Wyatt. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
It could have just been they fucked up something.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, it was
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it really only makes sense for it to be Bray Wyatt at this point because
I agree.
the other people that it could be doesn't really make sense. I don't think it's Paul London, even though that would be hilarious.
I'm just so like I want it to just be done with. I want it to just be like I want to know who it is because
Oh, you don't even want him to tease you.
well the fact that I hear so many people going it's Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt. And I'm like, well, when it's Bray Wyatt, I'll be like, oh, you guys were right. But if not, I'm like, you guys wasted all your fucking time on nothing. Fucking look at Paul London in the ring.
You don't want to speculate, and you don't want to be taken on the journey of
I don't want to speculate because after Bray Wyatt shows up, I'll be like, oh, like Bray Wyatt is the main reason to be like start watching it fully again. So you know what I mean? Like, so when I think about it, I go, well, I don't want to watch it until I know that it's gonna be him, and then
Okay.
I'm like, I'm wasting my time until it happens. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
It's like if CM Punk never happened, and I'm like, what the fuck was Darby Allin talking about?
Yeah, I'm interested to see if I'm interested to see if it is him, what his character is, and hopefully what they allow him to do with the character to continue to make it interesting and fun and like creative, right?
What if they do? Can I pitch something real quick? Well, go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Yeah,
sorry.
because I just think that like Bray Wyatt has had two fucking amazing gimmicks that have been completely fucking squandered. Like
But I
both
don't-
of those gimmicks were fucking like
I don't
$1 million
think it will be
world
this time.
champion gimmicks.
It won't be this time though. I think it'll be really.
Which is a shame because I think his first gimmick, the like creepy swamp
Yeah, the Charles Manson
pra-
kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was like something that had so much potential.
What happened that he stopped doing that?
I think they just decided they didn't want him doing that.
Oh, okay.
So I think so here's
The
there's
lantern thing is kind of creepy. His
yeah,
head.
there were so many issues with the way they booked that character. And I think he got injured and was out for like 6 to 9 months or something, and so they decided to repackage him. And when they did, they did the whole like Mr. Rogers crazy,
Westman thing.
yeah. And I could be wrong. I think it was Talk is Jericho. He had the guy who made the mask, the Fiend mask, and was like a
Tom
co-producer. Yeah, co-producer on the vignettes.
Tom Savini was he did a lot of the work for the early stages of Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and he was like gushing about how fucking like creative and like brilliant Bray Wyatt. Like he was
Yeah.
like so much of that character and what it was at the beginning. He was like so much of that was just right. It was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm like,
Triple
Jesus
H had
Christ.
an interview where he said the same thing. He was like, he's a creative, like, he goes on this, like, gets in his head about how creative and how cool it could be, and goes on these little things, and
Yeah.
he was like saying, he's like, it'd be great to have him come back. He's like, I can't say for sure that he's going to be back, but right now it'd be, I'd love to have him back.
He was one of those people that I would watch in WWE and I would be like, where's WWE films? Like I actively want a horror movie with him as the main person.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like I actively want that.
That'd be pretty cool. And then to have Tom, because Tom Savini's been in like a bunch of stuff now. He's like, do you remember Friday the 13th, the game?
Mhm.
They were gonna have the hell version of
Yeah.
him. He designed that. But yeah, he was like I think in the first. I don't think he did the full movie for the first one because he had something else he's working on. But then he's been in like actual speaking roles in movies and shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember because Bones is huge on Bray Wyatt because of the fact like the horror gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that a cool thing would be to do would be like, and I don't know who would be the first one to bring it out of him. I mean, a good person who would be able to bring it out of him, it would be like very like the Ezekiel thing, but do like Bray Wyatt as this. Because, like, when I thought of the White Rabbit, I thought, like, a magician for
Mhm.
some reason. I guess because you pull a rabbit out of a hat. And to do, like, Bray Wyatt as some, like, kind of magician character and barely wrestle and then, Like kind of like with Ezekiel, where like Kevin Owens keeps pushing him, like, no, you're Bray Wyatt, you're like, not exactly the same, but like that kind of thing, where he would be the first fight that he would make him become the Fiend. I think that would be cool because Kevin Owens is another one of those great people who I feel don't get enough recognition or don't get enough time to do like a free. I mean, he's just a fighter.
Yeah.
He's not like Bray Wyatt where he comes up with these elaborate characters.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they like killed the Fiend gimmick like fucking right out of the bat when they did the Hell in a Cell with Seth and they had it end in a no contest. It's funny because they were actively doing I don't think they do them anymore, but they were actively doing at one point WWE watch-alongs for the pay-per-views. So the WWE YouTube channel was like a bunch of people backstage actively watching along and talking. And they, it'd be like the regulars, like there'd be like Kathy Kelly and like one or two other people. And then like randomly they would have like Johnny Gargano would be back there or Tyler Breeze would be back there. And for this one they had X-Pac was back there. And he legit was like, it ended? What the hell? And then they're all like talking and because they don't know how like everything is ending and stuff, and they're legit going like, how does a Hell in a Cell end on a no contest? This doesn't make any sense. This is stupid.
Yeah. They're being like honest.
Yeah, so it's funny on a WWE program that they're like bashing the product kind of inadvertently, but
program.
Yeah, that killed that, and I part of the death of. I mean, it was a long, slow burn, but part of the death of the Bray Wyatt character was he never fucking won any feud. He never won a feud.
Well, he was always the villain, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that was the concept that they were just trying to make him the villain. I don't know.
But villains have to have
win occasionally.
To have a villain be threatful. He needs to like in my head. The only feud I can ever remember Bray Wyatt winning was. Technically Daniel Bryan. He beat him at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, he beat him at Royal Rumble. But then that was also the same year that I think Bryan went and won the championships at WrestleMania. But it's like Bray Wyatt didn't beat John Cena. I don't think he didn't beat Roman Reigns. He didn't.
Yeah, it almost seems like a horror movie, and then at the end of the horror movie, it just is a wrestling match where he loses anyway.
Yeah, like he didn't beat Randy Orton. Like the only feud I can remember, the only like big feud I can remember the Wyatt family themselves winning was the Shield. For a while, they were the only people to beat the Shield. I don't know if you realize this, but they did a really, whether they're inadvertent or not, they did a really fucking cool thing with the Shield. So the Shield went on. So the Shield came in. Went on, and for the longest time they were only doing.
People in the Shield?
You do.
I'm just so glad you got that right away because you're not like, what?
What?
Yeah, you do.
You do, brah.
There's like 2 of them are world champions on 2 shows.
2 shows, brah.
2 different shows. The other one just wears weird suits and laughs a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, they did something cool. Were they undefeated? You said?
Yeah. So they
I
went.
didn't know that.
So they went undefeated. And for when they first came on, they were only doing 6-man tags. And then slowly they would start doing like one-on-one matches, right? And this really cool thing happened, whether inadvertent or on purpose. The Shield would, at times, lose regular tag team matches or regular one-on-one matches. But they would never lose 6-man tags. So it was like, together they were stronger. Like you couldn't as a unit you couldn't beat them.
Together ape strong.
Yeah. And they went on like it was a while. It was like a year and a half it was like almost 2 years they went undefeated in 6-man tags. And it wasn't like they would do a 6-man tag once a month. Like they were doing 6-man tags at least like 3 times a month. And then the Wyatt family Yeah, so then the Wyatt family came in, and they built to the Wyatt family versus Shield, and then Wyatt family became the first group to beat the Shield. And then they did then they did a rematch, and the Wyatt family beat them again. So then it kind of became like it was like this cool thing of like, as a unit they couldn't lose, but then all of a sudden there's this other 3-man unit that
Yeah.
was finally able to beat them.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do anything with that momentum, which kind of sucks. I still what the fuck? Like, he should have fucking beaten John Cena at fucking WrestleMania. Like, what the fuck was that?
Was that that weird one? Was that COVID or no?
No.
He still fought him during COVID, right? Where he was like that
He
weird...
did the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
No, it was when he was actively the regular cult leader,
yeah,
Bray
yeah.
Wyatt, and he was like messing with John Cena's head and stuff. And
Well, John Cena can't, he can't be a bad guy.
yeah, and they were hinting towards that a little bit, and then Cena like overcame the odds, beat him, and
Never give up.
Never
Don't
give up. That was the WrestleMania where everybody was singing. It was the first time that everybody was singing the song. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Mhm.
And I was just like, man, that was the spot.
Such good momentum.
Even if he lost at WrestleMania because you didn't think the audience was going to gravitate that way towards him, like, he should have came back, beaten Cena in the rematch, and like rode that wave of momentum. But it was just like, nope, Cena beat him again, Cena beat him a third time, and he just was kind of never really recovered from there.
I can never understand where they go with storylines in WWE anymore. But like, I don't know. It's weird. But like, I don't know. He has a like a family.
So, sorry.
Go ahead.
So, I don't know what's
It's
happening on
still-
SmackDown, but I'm in a group text, and somebody in the group text that said, "Did he just dog hump Roman?" And I'm like, what the fuck is happening on SmackDown right now?
Did he just dog hump?
That was the
Roman?
question. Did he just dog hump Roman?
He might have. I don't know who he is. It
I
just
don't
seems
know
like the
either.
bloodline.
Which also makes me think SmackDown started 20 minutes ago and they're still doing a Roman Reigns promo.
It just ended.
Ah.
I don't know. Maybe like Sami Zayn got betrayed and then he was humping his leg asking for forgiveness.
I don't know. I'll have to go look up, see what happened.
I'll once again say that We the Ones doesn't make any sense, but Bray Wyatt.
We the Ones. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, We the Ones. No, I saw it at a pay-per-view because I didn't know they were saying We the Ones, and I saw it on a shirt. But every time, it was the Usos wearing it, so they were always like moving around, and I was like, did that say We the Ones? I'm like, no, there's got to be another word in there that like I'm not seeing. And no, I realized it does say We the Ones.
We the Ones.
We the Ones.
So Bray Wyatt
Yeah, Bray Wyatt.
comes from a family of wrestlers.
He does. He's third generation.
Do you know who else comes from a family of wrestlers?
Bo Dallas.
Who's Bo Dallas?
Bray Wyatt's brother.
But Bray Wyatt has a brother?
Yeah.
Did they not did they not integrate him into his thing?
Nope.
Why not? I think I know who you're talking
I
about.
don't know. Bo Dallas.
does look
the
like him,
Bo
doesn't he?
Leave. Which
You
I
can't
love the
say
Bo
his
Leave gimmick.
You can't say his catchphrase and expect me to know.
I
what you're
love it.
talking
I
about.
love the Bo Leave gimmick. That was so great.
Believe.
One of the best things was when he was moving up to the main roster. So he lost a loser leaves NXT match, and the crowd started chanting at him, "Bo Leave." Oh, they're stripping Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I guess they stripped Sami Zayn of the bloodline.
No,
Yeah, I don't know.
he doesn't have money in the bank. He can't cash
I'm
in.
just gonna skip ahead and say fuck it. Don't
So-
care. I'll
so-
find out later.
So anyway, when he left,
Go ahead.
they chanted, and he would always say, "You got to Bo Leave," and so
Believe.
they chanted at him, "Bo Leave." And they're
Oh,
like, "Bo
Bo
Leave,
Leave,
Bo
Bo
Leave." It was
His-
fucking hilarious.
His brother's also a wrestler, but you know who else has a wrestling brother?
Jimmy Uso.
Saraya.
Oh,
We're getting to Saraya. We're talking about her because I was like dumbfounded. No idea.
when the beatdown started. I thought it was gonna be Chris Statlander.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you think that's what I'm saying. I said, and I think I put a tweet out where I was like, I would have never, with all my guesses, you could have gave me a bunch of them. There's no percentage. Am I too loud?
No, you're good.
There's no percentage that I would have guessed that would have fucking been Paige.
Yeah.
and I was just so fucking blown away. It was like, it was a lot for me. I was like, I can't believe she's here.
Yeah, the music was playing. I
pop.
didn't know.
My goodness,
She wasn't at so the music was playing, and I started in my head going like, oh, who could this be? And then like I know what the song is. It's Zombified by Falling in Reverse. So I was like, oh, so like my head immediately went to like, because it's Zombified, and I was like, Abaddon's about to come out. That's a really weird choice here.
No, I think that's clever though, considering that she's dating a member of Falling in Reverse.
And she was in the revamped music video for I'm Not a Vampire.
Ah, they have interesting song titles.
They do.
I don't listen to them. I'm assuming you do.
I do.
Okay.
Actually.
Not
You might like. You actually would probably like Zombified.
I mean, I like the beginning of it.
Yeah.
It got me pumped up. It got me excited. But that fucking pop though, dude, it was fucking crazy. And then no commentator talked. It was like, just shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Let her do this.
There are times where I want to say, shut the fuck up and just let it happen. Like, stop talking.
Shut the fuck up.
And they don't. It doesn't happen all the time. Just like there are times where I'm like, just shush.
But
Shut
there was nothing. No one knew nothing about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like super excited because hopefully this will do something for the division.
So I'm assuming she's gonna wrestle because
that's what I was gonna say too.
She came out, and that night they put her on the AEW roster list with a 0-0. Like they put her on in the active roster with win records.
Yeah, I think.
So I'm like, she must be wrestling because if she was a manager, like they have managers on there and they don't have the win-loss records on them.
Yeah, I think someone said that it's nice because she can go out on her terms if she, retires eventually. Which that was the crazy thing. Like learning about, for one, I went back after I think Thursday morning and went back and watched the documentary they had about her and her injury and where she was living. Fun fact, her most likely first feud, she used to live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So, Britt Baker, I don't know if you saw, but Britt Baker shot a promo when she was getting her nose fixed. DMD. Saying how Jamie Hayter and her are best friends, and they're both cool, and you don't know what this bitch is doing here, but they're gonna put her in her place. And
that's a shame because I think they wasted the opportunity to split them.
Yes. Unfortunately, the setup, like, if there was no build up for that, like if nothing came of that, like it did, and she did not come out, or if it was someone lesser who I was like, oh, I don't give a shit about that person, I would have been so disappointed in that storyline. But the fact that she's here now, I'm like, yeah, I don't care now. I was like, it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, it felt like a I gotta be honest, it felt like a very WWE thing where they were like, oh yeah, here's this thing that we're hinting at, and it's a big story, and we're moving towards it, and then all of a sudden the next week we're just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah,
it's a very WWE thing to do.
Yeah, but I mean, like that could have been the case where they're like, oh, we're gonna set up for these two fighting. And they're like, well, hold on. She said she's good to come back and wrestle. Let's do that and have her. I mean, if anyone to start off her, I mean, they do it a lot that way. But if anyone for her to first fight to be Britt Baker, that's a great way to start.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the meme? Somebody apparently made a meme that took her took Paige's picture and how it has the records 000. It's 0 for singles, 0 for tag team, 0 for trios, and then somebody circled it and said AEW needs to update their stats because she had the threesome.
I thought it was going there.
It's just trios.
No, I get it. These pages are sticky. Anyway, yeah, that was a problem with like I got excited for it like legitimately because like wrestling since what 13, 15, super young, just been wrestling for forever. Got kind of
Wrestling since in the womb.
has she?
Apparently, her mom wrestled and didn't know she was pregnant or something like that.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Has a movie made about her. Florence Pugh plays her. It's
The Rock
just
directed it.
yeah.
Wait,
well,
did he direct
no,
it?
He
He
didn't
did
direct
something.
It. Stephen Merchant, who was
He co-produced it or something like that.
he did produce it. Fun fact. Stephen Merchant was in The Tooth Fairy with
Florence Pugh.
The Rock.
Oh,
We were still in The Rock.
I'm sorry.
Stephen Merchant, fantastic actor. Anyway, so yeah, you know what? I felt good about myself that you made a sex joke first before I did, because I
Okay,
felt
good.
like I would have been the first one to do it.
You just thought it was low-hanging fruit?
Yeah, it's so low hanging fruit now. Like that's all I think. Maybe because I talk to Bone so much, he always brings up that. Like anytime Paige is brought up, he's just like the sex stuff, and I'm like, yeah, she's
That was
also the
like-
first NXT Women's Champion. It's easy low hanging fruit. I know
That was
that.
years ago.
Yeah. Sometimes I go back and watch it and be like, this is bad.
Mhm.
I go, this is bad. No one should watch this. And then I watch it to the end. And then I go, oh, no one should watch that ever again. And
No
put on
one.
so yeah. So anyway, I don't put my pants on. My pants are already on. I'm fully clothed.
Sure.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited for someone who is like definitely changed things for the women's division, and you know, just maybe we'll get Charlotte and Becky to come over eventually. No, like
Don't kid yourself.
there was a thing where people were saying that Charlotte was getting like almost annoyed because she wanted to be with her husband.
Oh yeah, I could see.
I mean, I don't think Becky would leave, but
Yeah, I could see Charlotte potentially because of her husband. Becky, Becky, I don't see that happening at all.
Oh no.
I could also see Charlotte saying, I could also see Charlotte's contract coming due at some point, and if she says she doesn't feel like re-signing, maybe she will still re-sign, because Charlotte saying I don't feel like re-signing, and she they kind of probably know that like part of it is she wants to be with her husband. I would bet money that they throw a fuck ton of money at her to keep her from going somewhere else. So
She's like, I'm getting that money. Woo!
yeah, I would not be surprised if I mean, hey, it happened with was it the Good Brothers or FTR? One of them stayed because AEW was just starting and they were offering ridiculous money to keep people to stay.
I don't know. I mean,
Like, at one point-
FTR's top guys. They're top guys.
Yeah, at one point, I forget who. There were a lot of people, but like we're talking about like when AEW first started, and they had their TV deal, so they first started showing up on TV and were doing good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
There were tons and tons of reports, and a lot of the guys who have been let go have talked about it, because then there was that mass let go of people during COVID. A lot of people have talked about the fact that they
So sorry, I just knocked the table over.
it's okay, that
Not over, but
that they had said they weren't going to re-sign, and WWE was offering people like triple what they were paying
like
them.
bonuses to
to-
make sure they keep
yeah.
their- yeah. Do you think because of COVID
Partially,
to be like, oh, we need these people because
but also no.
we don't know what's going on?
No, because that was before COVID.
Oh, before COVID.
AEW
Maybe I'm thinking.
was
Yeah.
on TV before COVID. When AEW was on TV, first started on TV, WWE started offering people whose contracts were almost up like triple the amount of money
Okay.
to stay.
I'm thinking like COVID happened right away. Maybe because
No, that was pre-COVID.
okay.
I thought you were asking, did WWE let a lot of people go because of COVID?
No.
Partially, probably.
I meant like in the beginning where no one knew what was going on. So
But
like,
also they
we
were
need to
letting
keep
people
we
go
need-
and recording record-breaking revenue.
Yeah. Which is smart. I mean, FTR, they're top guys.
Top guys.
So, we could talk about two people here. In
I want to talk about one person or one thing in particular very quickly. MJF,
Okay.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman,
Okay.
or as Jericho once called him, or called him multiple times, my jerk off friend.
My jerk off friend. Does it?
So-
I know this is petty, but is it your friend who jerks you off?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Uh,
Weird relationship.
very weird.
Sing
So-
together, jerk each other off.
So MJF was sitting in the skybox during the main event.
I didn't realize what we were gonna bring up, and now I know exactly what you're bringing
And
up.
at one point, during the main event, probably about
Preach.
halfway through,
Go ahead, tell him.
I said to myself,
What's your problem?
I said, "Self, this is really fucking annoying. I don't need to keep looking at MJF."
Sure.
And then it kept happening. And I was like, this is getting really fucking annoying. And I texted you.
Yep.
Then, because it kept happening and the main event was still going, I legitimately started timing it with a timer. They would show MJF literally
For you Parks and Recs fans, literally
every 20 seconds.
every 20 seconds.
So they would either cut away to him, they would cut to the picture-in-picture with him, or they would do one of those wide-out camera shots where he's the big center screen.
You know, to get that much, this is going to be a
it
lob.
literally was fucking annoying me.
This is going to be a lob, but to get that kind of screen time for Jewish people, you'd have to watch Schindler's List.
Exactly.
That's a little bit, I don't know if it's, oh, there it goes.
There it goes.
Yeah, I was,
No,
I mean,
it it
it pissed you off.
legitimately was
You
fucking
texted me,
annoying
you were
me.
like, I don't get why they're doing this.
It's like, I don't know if pissed off is, it was annoying. It was
Yeah.
annoying as fuck. I was trying
To enjoy the match?
I wanted to enjoy the match and they keep cutting away from it.
Hey, don't forget, MJF's right there.
And there'd be times where like they'd be making a pin cover and like right before the referee is about to do 3 and right before they kick out they shoot to the wide shot so then you barely see the kick out. I'm like, what the fuck? It was so fucking annoying. Whoever was in the production truck, fuck you.
By the way, like, and I texted you. I didn't mention this earlier, but I did text you. I said, you can see the camera guy and I guess his assistant when Britt was beating the shit out of Tony Storm. I'm like, someone's coming out. I never would have thought it was who it was, but I was like, someone's coming. I was like,
Yeah.
someone's coming. I remember texting you going, someone's gonna come out. Hold up. I was like, someone's gonna fucking come out. But
Yeah.
then I told Bones, and Bones was like, ha ha ha, sex and BJ's, and she's gonna. I remember it was one joke he said. He said he was gonna play Xavier's tuba, and I guess that's a
That's
sexual
funny.
innuendo.
I thought the whole show was awesome. That was the only thing on the show that annoyed the
Yeah,
crap
MJF
out of
thing.
me.
So speaking of off the show, there are two people who one is for officially has left. The other one we're not positive. But so CM Punk and Malachi Black. Last week we didn't really talk about Malachi Black. We already knew he was kind of gone. But Malachi Black.
Yeah, we well, I think we like brushed over it and had mentioned that he asked for his release. He was granted. All of the rumors that are circulating around say that it was granted with certain conditions. So we assume that that meant there's a certain amount of time that he can't go wrestle for another televised company.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like he has interest in doing that right now because he
that's what I want to talk to you about, because I'm like, he doesn't seem like, and I mean, now, I understand mental health. I'm not saying, now I have both of these men I love in AEW. I want them to stay in AEW. The problem is that the way they're doing things, if they're done a certain way, I'd be fucking pissed. Like Malachi Black, if he just shows up on WWE after saying like, I need time away from everybody, and then just shows up, I'm like, you fucking dickhead. And it's not a like, oh, they have Malachi Black now. It's just like a, don't do one thing and then say a different thing. I love Malachi Black. I think he could be a great storyteller. But like, I really hope that, and everyone's saying like, oh, I hope he gets better, and I'm like, yeah, that's great. I want that too. But like, I have such a thing of like, he does love the storytelling he was able to do in NXT, which I'm like, I hope you don't think that you would have it better over there. Not that saying you wouldn't. Wherever he decides to go is great, but as long as it's done properly and not like I'm just gonna fucking say I'm having a hard time and then fucking fuck off to the other place.
Yeah, like if
I know
if,
he won't do that, but it's
right,
just like
right. Like if let's say he does sign with WWE, right? But like let's say we don't hear about him signing. He doesn't sign anything for 6 months and he shows up. Like that's completely
yeah.
acceptable.
If we've forgotten about him and go, oh cool, he's back and now he's in WWE, cool.
Yeah, like he did what he needed. He went and he took the time and and maybe he feels WWE is the right place for him. His wife is also there. Like
Oh yeah, that's right.
there's other contributing factors. So like it's like the only reason I would be mad if he went back to WWE is like you said, is if it was an immediate thing and he was like using the health to just get out of his contract, which I don't think he did.
So much respect for him.
Yeah, which honestly I don't think he did. If he was doing that, I don't think he would have given the speech that he did because it would have just looked really bad on him. The rumors are that he signed that his contract has some conditions upon his release, so my assumption is that there's a certain number of months before he could go back if he even wanted to.
I like Malachi. I like House of Black even more, and I want it to be full force. It feels like everyone's getting better as far as their characters. Like Julia Hart is growing as a character. On the other hand, I'm gonna be honest, and you know how much I love him. CM Punk leaves, fuck that guy. If he straight up leaves and goes, I'm gonna take my ball and go home, if this is what I'm saying, like in my head, if I were to do that once with a different company and then do it again with another company, I'd be like, well, everyone's gonna know that I'm the problem, and I know he's the problem, but he doesn't always have to do this.
Right. So okay. So how would you feel if
he went to WWE?
No. How would you feel if I don't think he ever gets back there?
No.
To be honest,
he hated Triple H too. There's no difference. In
how would you feel if he doesn't take his ball and goes home, but AEW decides this guy's more of a headache than he's worth, and they like buy out his contract and let him go?
I feel
like I'm sure there's probably something in the contracts to say, like, for example, if we just pay him out $1 million, then we're able to end his contract immediately.
This is how I see it. If that were the case, it would have to be. I want it to be mutual. I want it to be that CM Punk goes, I want this. They go, we can't give you this. He goes, okay, well, I guess I'll leave. They're like, okay, we'll buy you out, and we'll go our separate ways. I want him to at least try to work stuff out with them before he goes, fuck this place. They're biased, or they're worried about Hangman or Colt or whoever else. He needs to try to work with these guys because it's dumb for AEW to do nothing about it and not work with him because they're making money. There's money being left on the table. That he has grown them exponentially with pay-per-views and whatnot. And it's not like I'm just money. It's like I think it's great for I think with CM Punk there, it's a legitimate threat for WWE to actually and for it to be a threat to WWE, it's not to get rid of WWE. I'm saying if both people are competing, it means there's a good product for both people. And if they're going to have CM Punk and he's doing great and Kenny Omega comes back and the Elite are just back and doing great jobs all around, that will probably hopefully force Triple H to be like, let's get Bray Wyatt in here and I'll want to watch both shows. I think it's just a matter of we have no control, but the fans are going to make out on the deal if we can work this out to be just a company it just works. Coming back to MJF, he was on Ariel, I forget what the guy's name is, but he talks to him a lot.
Grande.
No, not Ariana. It's Ariel. His name is Ariel. He's a Middle Eastern man.
The mermaid.
Bald. No, she's black now.
What does that have to do with being a mermaid?
I'm glad you're sitting down. Thank you. I'm glad you're sitting down. She was black. Then she was white again for a little bit. Then people got mad, so she's black again. Well, not really. I mean, she wasn't supposed to be white, but then they were like, well, she is black. Anyway, point is that this Ariel guy, he does interviews. He's done interviews. Like, I've watched him with Becky Lynch. I watched him with Triple H. When I saw him with MJF, this was right before Grand Slam. By the way, we'll talk about Grand Slam, I guess, to finish off the podcast. When I saw him talk about the company, it was, and I'll send you, I know actually the timestamp. I was going to send it to you and say the timestamp. Watch this part, because it is not MJF the character. It is MJF the wrestler, MJF the person. It's legitimately Maxwell going, we have great stars. He's like, if someone leaves, like CM Punk or Kenny Omega, he said, someone else will step up. He said, we are doing great numbers. Like, you're saying we, not I'm going to do this. He goes, he was legitimately talking like Tony Khan, where he's like, you'll have to watch tonight to see if I cash in the chip or not. Like, he was doing this thing where I'm like, this isn't him, the character. This is him. Like, I want this company to survive because I like it here. And that's why I think, like, the bidding war of 2024 is bullshit. I think that he's just going to stick with AEW because he likes to be able to have the creative control that he has. I think a lot of the fights with Tony don't really happen for real. They're just like, we got to set up something so it's...
Yeah, I think... So I'll say this. I think with Vince out of the picture, that there is a potential that MJF will want to go to WWE.
I mean, he knows a lot of people there.
Right. And so there's also been, like, I don't know how true or not it is, but I've heard like a little bit of more rumor and scuttlebutt that scuttlebutt that since Triple H has taken over, that the writers are doing more of storyline planning and bullet pointing, and the wrestlers are
Giving them the chances.
being given a little more freedom with their promos. I don't know if it's true or not.
They're letting Liv Morgan say fuck again.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
But that would be a potential, like, plus for, you know what I mean? Like, another potential reason for MJF to go over. And I mean, if MJF really wanted to, he absolutely could have a bidding war, and
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He-
It's possible.
he absolutely could
But
play
I think he
both
legitimately
sides
loves
to.
the company.
Yeah, I just mean it'd be interesting, for him to play both sides and end up with a huge money contract.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
I mean, he knows his worth. He's
oh,
worth
absolutely.
it. He's definitely worth it.
And speaking of MJF, on Talk is Jericho, he did 3 live shows over in the UK for Inside the Ropes, and they recorded them. And randomly, he is putting them out like once every other month or whatever. He's putting the 3 of them out. So the first one was WrestleMania's Jericho, where he like talked about all of his WrestleMania matches.
Okay.
The second one was all AEW talk, and he was talking about his feud with MJF, and how they did the Labors of Jericho, where he had to like fight different people, and he talked about how he didn't want it to be the same thing that Moxley had to do a year earlier, where he had to fight each member of the Pinnacle, where Mox fought each member of the Inner Circle.
And
then that's where they came up with the idea of like bringing in guest people for it. And apparently it was MJF's idea to bring in Nick Gage and have him do the death match.
that's awesome.
And I was like, what?
I swear, he's just like everybody else, but he's like a Bray Wyatt type guy, where he's just on another level creatively.
Yeah. So I found that very interesting that it was MJF's idea and not either Tony Khan's or Jericho's.
Yeah.
And then the funny follow up to that is that Jericho was like, yeah, the guy asked him, and they talked about the Domino's pizza thing, and he was like, yeah, Domino's is dumb as shit. He was like, if I was the head of Domino's, the fucking day after it happened, I'm calling up Tony Khan because I want to shoot a Domino's commercial with Jericho and Nick Gage.
Yeah, I guess it's the brutality of it all is a little bit.
Like, they could have done something like super campy and stuff for a commercial to like play off of it.
Yeah.
Jericho was like, yeah, that's what I would have done.
Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, it's just I don't know. Excuse me. Just
You
the
don't
fact
know.
of MJF is just a creative guy. I love the concept. It's I have more fun trying to distinct what's him and what's the character.
And he finally figured out how to get booed.
What's that?
Got to attack Tony.
Yeah.
Like, he was being cheered all the way up until he, like, shoved Tony Schiavone over. And then the crowd immediately, like, turned on him.
Yeah. They immediately. I think that's something Vince learned real early. Just attack an old elderly person like JR or Mae Young. It's just so good. Like I think MJF's great. He's like like I said, he's like the Bray Wyatt of AEW, but instead of a scary demon, he's a rich Jew, I guess. That's the character. A rich Jewish person. Sorry. I don't want to sound like it's a. So, AEW Grand Slam. Woo! We crowned a bunch of champions, a bunch of new champions. We crowned a bunch of other champions.
I was really nervous that the Acclaimed were not going to win because Jericho won in the opener, and I was like, I don't think they're going to do 2 title changes in a row.
But
and
they
then
did.
They did.
Well, they did a Ring of Honor match and then an AEW match.
All I said was 2 title changes. I didn't specify anything.
I know. I'm being
I will also
facetious.
say that the for a while it felt like the theme of the night was cheating.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have said, and they're saying supposedly Tony Khan referenced that by saying it was Paul Turner's 100th match that he called, even though he did not do a legitimate job. It was like he tweeted it out and like said like, "Hey."
Well, you know what's interesting is the commentators actually acknowledged it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but I forget if it was the women's match or the main event, Taz was talking about how like, oh yeah, the wrestlers are really coming in and they're like really coming in with game plans so that way the refs can't see that they're cheating is basically what he was saying.
Yeah.
Because Jericho cheated. Technically, the Acclaim cheated.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. They were like, oh yeah, Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn, just fucking famous-ed him.
Yeah. After Swerve tried to cheat.
Yeah, I just didn't.
With the boombox.
So
and
confusing.
then Pac cheated.
Yeah, the bastard.
At least his was like creative. Like I can't remember like ever seeing where like he like you grab it and you hold it in a certain way so the ref can't see that you like the ref thinks you're just punching him, but you actually hit him with the ring bell ringer. What do you call that?
The hammer.
The hammer.
The bell hammer.
Bell hammer.
The ring bell hammer.
Yes. That was at least creative.
Yeah, there's something about Pac where he's like, if you close your eyes and imagine him in Lord of the Rings, I'm like, yeah, he's an elf or something. He's some kind of character. Mm-hmm. He always sounds like he's just gonna say some wise shit, and then he just says, "I'm gonna beat the living piss out of you," and then just like, oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, but then All Atlantic didn't change. Women's title didn't change. We had Paige make her debut. Yeah, I don't. Do you get the feeling that they didn't tell Tony or Athena that she was showing up? Because they looked like they were surprised too.
Yeah, especially
because like Britt must have known that she was gonna come out.
Athena looked like really
she was
happy,
like, and then started like laughing, like oh okay.
She's like, yeah, my girl.
Yeah, that's just cool. I like that.
She's like, I love this chick.
I love this chick. Never mind. I was gonna go low hanging fruit again.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anyway. So then, John Moxley is the first three-time champion.
Interesting choice, because I really
wanted Danielson.
Yeah.
Someone posted a picture of him again after he beat CM Punk and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, was that not how it was supposed to go again?" Because everyone's like, "Yeah, he's gonna beat him. Danielson's winning the title," and he's like, "Nope." I think even from the beginning, you should have known. Like, they did a whole promo with him coming back, going like, and someone posted him in a GIF with him on the title and him walking into Daly's place, and it said, "My man's not getting a vacation anytime soon."
Yeah. The only reason I could think that they put it back on Moxley is because the plan is for MJF to beat whoever the champ is soon.
Yeah.
But probably the main event of Full Gear. Would be to have MJF win. So the plan originally was for him to beat Punk. So they just put the title back on Moxley because he didn't want to waste I don't want to say waste, but he didn't want to put the strap on Daniel Bryan for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Not even 2 months to have him lose to MJF.
I don't think Daniel Bryan really cares if he has a title or not. He's just
No,
enjoying
he
wrestling.
definitely doesn't.
Like you said when he showed up, let's fucking go.
Let's go.
I was like, oh, Daniel Bryan, he curses.
Yeah, so that's the main reason I can think of for putting the strap on Mox is because he's essentially supposed to lose it to MJF.
I saw that coming
And
from when he just showed up.
And
Like,
it makes more sense for it to be Mox than
I knew when
Bryan
the tournament
Danielson.
started, I was like, well, obviously they're building up to be Mox winning. I mean, and then having an MJF and him thing. So.
Yeah, I think they gave it away a little bit because
Yeah.
they had MJF and Mox kind of verbally sparring.
But I mean, when you have to call an audible like that, it's
Yeah. I mean, absolutely right. It did mess it up.
So
yeah.
what are we most excited about? The Acclaimed? Did you just touch my foot?
I did. Let me
Okay.
play with your foot more.
Don't do that.
The Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed. Do you feel like now? Like, oh, they have the title, now what? Even they
No.
they hinted to FTR, and then it was like, oh no, the Ass Boys are gonna interrupt them. They just call them the Ass Boys, the Gun Club.
You did. I mean the Ass Boys could totally be like, hey, we've got like 7 weeks or 8 weeks of TV until the pay-per-view.
True.
We'll do like a 3-week thing with the Gun Club, and then we can.
I did want to mention, so this is gonna be out by tomorrow, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
You control
No,
that,
sorry,
not me.
my
What
bad.
are you asking me for?
No, because I know who wins. Like, it's another hour before Rampage.
Oh.
So,
I mean, I also don't. Again, I don't know why you were asking me.
okay. So Kingston finally beat Sammy.
Good.
This is the most part I'm pissed off about is the winner of the Battle Royal, once again, Hangman Adam Page. Don't care much for that.
Interesting.
He gets a title shot on the 16th of October or 18th of October, one of the days in October.
Yep.
The
Basically.
same day as Halloween Havoc or something.
Okay. Basically to give Mox a win before losing to.
Maybe.
So you want to know what happened with the Sami Zayn thing?
Yeah, sure. Well, I want to talk about. Let me bring up. Eddie Guevara. Eddie beat Sammy Guevara. I think Ward Joe beat those fucks. You already knew they were gonna win.
Yep.
There was another big one. So supposedly, according to the article I read, no one gave a shit about the main event, which was Team Taz against each other in a no disqualification.
Oh,
They
I
didn't-
forgot that match was
Half
happening.
of them
The
left
lights
after
out.
the Battle Royale because they was like, that was the second, I think the last match.
Okay.
And they were like, okay, we know who's going to fucking fight Moxie on October. Let's go. Like they said, most of the people were gone by that point.
Oh wow.
But also because of the fact that it was 12
Although
o'clock at night.
it's fucking
yeah.
late as shit.
So they were like, yeah, we're done. It was a Wednesday night, and it was midnight by the time it finished.
Yeah.
So, also,
That makes sense.
Before you continue on, one last thing. The Sting and Darby match, that had an appearance by Muda.
The Great Muta.
The Great Muda, who's one of my favorite guys. And the fact that I learned that he was the one guy who bit someone's nose off is fucking great.
And he spit green mist and
Yeah, he did. But
the fuck's his name?
you thinking it's Tajiri?
No, Buddy Matthews.
Oh yeah, okay.
But
Hey.
I forget what his indie name. What his name is.
It's something with an H. It's one of his I think his daughter is what's her face? The one on WWE. I think.
What?
I don't know the Samoan family too well, all right?
No.
I'm not racist.
What?
Hey guys, just jumping in here on a comment that I wanted to clear up. I confused the Great Muta for Meng. Meng was one of my favorite wrestlers in WCW, and I confused him with the Great Muta. I'm a fucking idiot. Ignore me. Anything after this about Great Muta. I'm stupid, and I'm glad I could clear that up. And back to the original.
We'll talk about the.
Buddy Matthews?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I can't think of what his name is in AEW.
I don't know either.
Okay.
I didn't realize.
Well, the Great Muta spits mist in Buddy Matthews' face.
Something Matthews, right?
I thought it was Buddy something. Or maybe it is something
I don't
Matthews.
fucking know.
I don't know.
Shit.
Shit.
So Rhea Ripley's
Yes.
boyfriend got sprayed in the face.
Well, you said Samoan, and I was like,
Well, because I'm talking
where
about
the fuck are you
Muta.
going? Oh, okay. Well, then I
Muta-
realized you were talking about Muta.
Muta's daughter is Tamira, I think.
Tamina?
Tamina, I think. I'm not positive.
I thought she was Superfly Snuka's daughter.
That might be true. I might be wrong there.
I think
He
you're
had-
very wrong.
He has some relation to his son is in the Bullet Club. Listen, I don't fucking know the Samoan family tree, all right?
Okay.
All I know is I did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock.
All right, anyway, so Sami Zayn did something where he got kicked out of the bloodline. Hold on. I got to plug in the computer. I did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock. I did it for
I did it. I did it for the Nookie.
Why has no one made that a thing?
I did it for The Rock.
Okay. So they all come out. Roman Reigns. Roman's music starts and everybody goes to leave, but Sammy asks to cut the music. He apologizes to Jay. He apologizes while Jay yells at him.
Yeah, Jay was yelling at him.
He says he knows he's not technically blood, right? But the way he's been taken in his family, he wanted to share his gratitude. Reigns seems amused. Why has he got the shirt on? Why is he tagging along? What does he want? He'll tell Sammy what he wants. He wants him to take the shirt off. Jay yells at him to take it off, and Zayn says about it. They're all yelling. Roman says he's not going to tell him again, take the shirt off. He hesitates too long, and Reigns signals Jay to rip it off.
And he does.
Roman tells Sammy to listen for once, and he doesn't want to see him in that shirt ever again. He's never going to wear a Bloodline shirt ever again because he got him a new one. He unfurls a SZ Honorary Oos t-shirt and throws it at Sammy.
And then he dog humped him?
I guess. Reigns asks him if he has anything to say. He acknowledges him, and they share a deep embrace.
Ooh, it's deep.
It's deep.
Boom, boom, boom,
Serena deep.
boom. But you keep doing that.
I know. Because it's entertaining.
Guess who's about to fight Braun Strowman? I'll give you a hint. A shush!
I was going to guess that.
It's Otis. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What does he do? He's like, oh, yeah. Yeah. And he starts smacking his stomach. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Shake some weights. Shake some weights.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought it said that Otis was taller than Braun Strowman. So anyway,
what?
it's not.
Not
it's
even
not
close.
True. I read it wrong because 5 and 6 look similar.
Not even close,
With
bro.
the numbers they were using, it looked like they were like very fluorescent, so it looked like they were like looked like the 5 looked like 6. But yeah,
Not even close, bro.
He does way more than him though. Look, it's happening right now. Oh. So
On a absolutely random tangent, did you see that Xavier Woods was basically stripping on the latest attack of the show?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
So they play pickleball.
I know that.
And every time they come back from commercial break, he's wearing less clothes.
Oh, okay. I saw Will Neff look like he looked like a weird Chad.
Yeah.
It was like, kind of.
And I was like, why does he look like this? He should be Bill Nash for this.
Yeah, that's what I did when I came in and showed you this sweatshirt. I was like, bam. I love doing that. I was like, bam, because it's in the back.
And Gina has elbow pads and knee pads on. And she comments about how she's going to have a weird tan line.
Right. She brought those from home, actually.
It was entertaining. It was an entertaining episode.
No one made that joke. She brought them from home.
Don't think so.
I love Gina. Like, I love Gina.
Me too.
I love Cassim more.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, we got a tangent there. Thank you for watching. Listening.
Yes, thank you.
You're watching. You might be watching, but you also might be listening.
If you're watching, you're just staring at a non-moving
Yeah, picture.
picture.
But also, you might be. But also, the more important thing, you're listening. That's what I
Oh,
wanted
there
to
you
say.
go. There you go.
And we appreciate that.
I feel heard.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you let us into your home or ears, and you're listening to whatever we have to say about CM Punk or Bray Wyatt or the girl who I've seen shoot a dildo out of her butt. We thank you regardless. And as Kibbles says, you're going to have to say it. I'm sorry.
Do the needful.
Yeah, do the needful. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. The commercial comes. You set so much build up for a segment with them in the ring. It's just like it's not the concept of the match itself. Like, okay, if you want to do this match, whatever. It's the concept that they have the both parties come to the ring, talk a little bit, and then go, why don't we just do a match? Like, why don't you just do that from the fucking beginning? Just make it a normal